Hey, how you doing? Welcome everybody. Good to see you guys. Welcome to Capitol on this cold, frigid, beautiful Oklahoma day. Before we get started, I just wanted to send our condolences to the Channel 4 family. They lost one of their longtime employees and cameraman, Gene Rickman, and I know the reporters all fought to work closely with him, and so just wanted to pass on our condolences. But good morning, everybody. Glad you're here. You know, I'm excited to jump every time at the chance to brag on Oklahoma. And you guys hear me talk about it all the time. Oklahoma is becoming the place to be. It's the best place to live, to work, to raise a family. And we're improving that right now in our amazing tourism sector. And, you know, we've seen so much growth and accomplishments from this agency. And tourism has really proven itself to be a huge, strong asset for the state of Oklahoma. Some talk about Oklahoma, and you hear it on the coast, especially like being a flyover state, but that's not the case anymore. We are becoming a destination state. Even tourism, it's becoming top 10. And we talk about top 10. We've got an international strategy where I'm trying to take Oklahoma to the world and bring the world back to Oklahoma. We've met with probably, 40, 50 different ambassadors. Just got back from a trip to Washington, D.C., where we met with a couple more ambassadors. We've signed an MOU with the UK. And what that does is it allows these international companies, when they're looking for a U.S. presence, they start thinking about Oklahoma instead of just thinking about L.A. or New York. And so all those things kind of fitting together, making Oklahoma the destination spot. But tourism is really moving the needle. And so some great facts here, and we're going to introduce Shelley Zumwalt in just a second. But in 2022, Oklahoma had more visitors per capita than both Texas and Kansas. We had over 18 million visitors to the state of Oklahoma, which is 4.57 visitors per residents. Oklahoma also had the second largest year-over-year increase in travel spending, with visitors spending an average of almost $500 a night on whenever they visit our great state. So Oklahoma was the only state in our tourism region to see an increase in average length of stay in Oklahoma. So more people are spending their time and their money here, and it's making and I'm sure that that's a sign that Oklahoma's on the right track. So I have to also brag on Shelley Zumwalt. She is the director of tourism and has done an amazing job of marketing our state and making it the place where people want to come. So your work, Shelley, you've done an amazing job of boosting this. And we're going to hear also a little bit about Route 66 in just a second. But everything you're doing, your leadership, and all of our great employees at tourism and all of our parks, it's really paying off, and the numbers speak for themselves. So there's no doubt that you and your whole team love the state and are doing a great job of promoting it. With that, let me just bring up Shelley to give some more specific comments about the great things happening in tourism. Shelley Zumwalt.
Thank you, everybody. And thank you, Governor Stitt, for inviting us here to share the incredible impact that tourism's had on our state. Oklahoma's success in the next 50 years will be determined by our choices that we make as a state in the next 10 years. What do I mean by this? It's simple. Our state has emerged from the pandemic with coveted assets, like a low cost of living, wide open spaces, and a work-life balance that is really well balanced. Having observed our state from the front lines of unemployment during the pandemic to facing workforce challenges just after, and to now running a state agency that supports our state's third largest industry. I want to repeat that one more time. Tourism is our state's third largest industry. I can confidently say Oklahoma has an opportunity to succeed right now like never before. And to succeed, Oklahoma needs tourism. Tourism is Oklahoma's unseen economic powerhouse. right there humming in the background, serving an audience of international, out-of-state, and in-state travelers every single day of the year. Tourism brings in more out-of-state dollars than any other industry than oil and gas. Think about that for a minute. Tourism is bringing in, second to oil and gas, more dollars over our state lines than any other industry. Domestic travelers outside of Oklahoma accounted for 72% of all visitor spend in 2022, and nearly 2/3 of all travelers to the state came from outside of Oklahoma. As the state's marketing agency, OTRD's job is to sell Oklahoma to the world, and the world is listening and choosing to come to Oklahoma. We're just getting started. Today, we are reporting the largest year-over-year percentage increase in travel spending in nearly a decade, and a 60-to-1 return on investment on every dollar spent promoting our state. We are proud to have broken records last year, and I'm excited to let the people of Oklahoma know that we shattered those same records this year. State tourism has more momentum than ever before, and as a state, I'm excited to see us seize this moment and show the world an Oklahoma that is ready for the spotlight. With that, I'm proud to introduce Amy Pordos, the Executive Director of the Chandler Route 66 Interpretive Museum.
Hello, my name is Susan Pordos, and I'm the Executive Director of the Chandler Route 66 Interpretive Center. When COVID hit in 2020, I was worried we might have to close our doors for good. That's when the Department of Tourism stepped in, creating the Oklahoma Route 66 Passport. The passport encouraged visitors from across the country that probably had never heard about us before to visit our museum and the town. It allowed us to stay open. Today, over 25% of all of our visitors come through the doors because of the Oklahoma Route 66 Passport. These are visitors from all 50 states and dozens of countries around the world, some as far away as Japan and New Zealand. And they don't just visit our museum, they stay in our hotels, they eat at local restaurants, and shop at local stores. I want to thank the Oklahoma Department of Tourism for the Oklahoma Passport and all of the other things they do to encourage visitors to our state, not just to Oklahoma City and Tulsa, but to small communities like mine as well. And thank you, Governor Stitt, for everything you do to lead our state and make Oklahoma a place people want to visit. Thank you.
Well, as you guys can see, it's Oklahoma has unparalleled success in our tourism department, and I'm so proud of these numbers and everything that your team's doing. Can't wait to continue to build on this great success, continue this momentum that we've created. And as you heard earlier, Shelley has proven through her work as the Executive Director of Tourism that she has the expertise, the skill, and the knowledge necessary to take the state's tourism to the next level. And I'm also excited to announce, and that's why I'm inviting Shelley to join the cabinet. So in Oklahoma, we have 15 cabinet positions, and so we're promoting her to Secretary of Tourism and Wildlife. And so cannot wait to see what you accomplish in your new role as Secretary. We're so excited for you, Shelley. Thank you.
I have something for you.
Oh, wow.
I know, I almost forgot. We have for you our official State Park of Oklahoma vest with your name on it.
Oh, nice. Thank you so much.
Anytime. Yeah.
Beautiful. Cannot wait to go camping and take this, wearing my new vest. So we'll open up. We have time for a few questions for myself or Shelley if we have any questions.
What were the key changes you think that made this growth possible?
In tourism for the state. I think there's a couple of things coming together. Really, we had an aggressive marketing campaign, especially towards our state parks this past year. It was one that, if you put aside the money spent during the pandemic, it was the first state park campaign that really funds had been dedicated to in over a decade. Additionally, I think Route 66 has really brought Oklahoma to the world, as Governor Stitt said. We have more miles than any other state, and we've really aggressively tackled the centennial and decided that we want to be the state that people have to go to on Route 66.
So is more marketing is the plan going forward then, or how would you?
Yeah, definitely. I think between the state's promotional fund and the $6.6 million annually dedicated to Route 66, between those two, we should be able to put on a pretty solid marketing campaign. I think that just understanding where people are going in Oklahoma and that data insight's been very helpful too.
Yeah, I'll add a couple other things too. When I first got here, we weren't marketing like when you come and you are staying in one of our state parks. I think what they were having was they had a little box nailed to a tree where you put your money. I was pretty sure all that money wasn't getting back to the state treasurer, so we went away from the cash system, and now we have a software where you can actually book your stay a year ahead of time, and then we're proactively sitting down emails. If you stayed last year, we're asking you if you want to reserve your spot in the state parks this year. So we're more full than ever before. So that's a huge advantage for us. The investment we've company that's operating those, and we get 13% of that. The state does. So we've gone from over $1 million loser to now we're getting $325,000 in just the first 6 months on those 6 state park restaurants. So that's a huge deal. People want to have a great place to eat whenever they're coming and staying in our great state.
Obviously, this shows that a lot of people are wanting to come visit. Do you think this also means people are wanting to come and stay and move here? What do you think this means for economic development?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Oklahoma's top 10 in people moving per capita, not per capita, but true numbers. We're top 10 in a state in net migration. So that's so important. And then you look at our energy advantage. I mean, on a cold day like today, it's so important. Energy is really crucial, making sure that we're all warm. And I've talked to the Southwest Power Pool. They had hit peak demand. Y'all remember the polar vortex 2 years ago, Storm Uri? The Southwest Power Pool just had peak demand over Uri, but yet our grid is still resilient in Oklahoma. Other states are having to conserve or maybe doing some kind of rolling blackouts. Oklahoma's in really good shape. Our energy costs are about a third what they are in Europe, for example. So more and more companies around the world are looking to places like Oklahoma for a reliable, affordable grid. So I think that energy advantage that Oklahoma has and all of the above approach that you hear me talking about a lot is super important. Also really bragging on, some of our utilities have done a really good job of base load and making sure they do forward contracts that we've been all over and learning from the mistakes that happened a couple years ago. So overall, that's kind of top of mind with the weather right now. But Oklahoma is in a really, really good spot. As you know, we have the largest savings account we've ever had. So people can see the pro-business, pro-freedom policies. And once Oklahoma gets on the map and they start thinking about places to come visit, then we want them to stay here longer. We want them staying in our hotels, eating in our restaurants, and kind of extending that stay. And that's something that they're working on all the time, is how we can get them to stay longer. So thank you guys so much for coming and promoting tourism.
What were your thoughts on the Iowa results last night?
Yeah, I mean, it was a resounding victory by President Trump, and so we'll see how New Hampshire goes here in 8 days or 7 days now. But yeah, I mean, it looks like everything's starting to consolidate around President Trump, and we'll see how South Carolina and New Hampshire go.
You said tourism's the third largest industry in the state. Where did it rank prior to this year? Like, is that a new ranking, and where did it fall?
That's a great question. We can check back with our research team and make sure we've got exact data on that. But off the top of my head, I wouldn't feel 100% confident about saying. I know it's only been within the past couple of years. Prior to me getting there, probably it hit third. But we've just seen the out-of-state spend increase dramatically in the past 2 years. Mm-hmm.
4 years. It's been third for the past 4 years.
Past 4 years. Okay, thank you.